Good morning, Shem Stars. Welcome to mathematics class. Today we will learn reading time. Let us learn reading time. Before that, we have to learn some facts about the clock. In a clock, we are having numbers from 1 to 12, and in between 1 and 2 we are having 5 small divisions. That means the 1 represents 5 and 2 represents 10, 3 represents 15, 4 represents 20, because in all we are having 5 small divisions. That means when we are talking about this, the clock is a multiple of 5 and we are having numbers up to 60. Means on 12 we are having 60 minutes. That means when a minute hand clock moves from one digit to another digit, that means it will cover 5 minutes. That is 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25. That means 5 comes on 1 and 10 comes on 2. 15 goes for 3, 20 goes for 4. Similarly, this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. On 12, it completes 60 minutes. That means this is the complete clock. And when we are talking about half of the clock, that is half of 60 is 30. That means the 30 comes on 6 and this is the half of the clock. And when we are talking about quarter, quarter is on 15. That means the 1/4 of the clock, that is on 15. If we are talking about from 12 to 3, this is the quarter. From 3 to 6, this is also the quarter. And from 6 to 9, this is also a quarter. And from 9 to 12, this is also a quarter. That means there are 4 quarters in a clock. Now let us learn how we can read the time. First of all, half of an hour is 30 minutes. That means the number is on 6. Now we start from quarter past the hour. Quarter past the hour. That the time that has already gone is the past. Now that means the minute hand is no longer on 12, it is at 3. Means minute hand comes on 3. This means quarter past. That means the 15 minutes have gone. The hour hand is slightly beyond 2. That is slightly beyond 2. The time is quarter past 2. The time we can read it as quarter past 2 or 2:15. Quarter past 2 or 2:15, or we write it as 2:15. 2:15. Now the next is quarter to the hour. Means the time is quarter to. That time has to come. Now the minute hand is at 9. Minute hand is at 9. This means quarter to. When minute hand is on 9, that means quarter to. That has to be gone. The hour hand is between 2 and 3, but nearer to 3. In between 2 and 3, but nearer to 3. The time is quarter to 3. Quarter to 3 or 2:45. Quarter to 3 or 2:45. We write it as 2:45. to 45. That means there are 15 minutes to complete 3. 15 minutes left to 3. Now the third part is half past the hour. That means half past. One thing is half. Half means the hand should be on 6. And past, that means the time has gone. Now the minute hand is at 6. This means half an hour has passed. Half an hour has passed. The hour hand is between 1 and 2. So the time is half past 1 or 1:30. We write it as 1:30. Now when the minute hand is on the left hand side of the clock, we read it as to the hour. And when the minute hand is on the right hand side of the clock, we read it as past the hours. Now we will do activity 2 based on this. Write the time as indicated in each clock. First one is hour hand is at 6 and minute hand is at 3. Now the time by this clock is 6:15, means 15 minutes have passed and this time becomes 6:15, or we can write it as 6:15. Second clock is showing the time. Hour hand is between 6 and 7 and nearer to 7, and minute hand is on 9. That means the time by this clock is 6:45, means 15 minutes left to 7 o'clock. That means the time by this clock is 6:45. Third clock is showing the time. The hour hand is between 10 and 11 and minute hand is at 6. That means minute hand is at 30. So the time by this clock is 10:30. That means half past 10. The fourth clock is showing the time. The hour hand is between 4 and 5 and nearer to 5, and minute hand is at 6. That means the time by this clock is 4:30, or we can say it half past 4. The fifth clock is showing the time. The hour hand is between 11 and 12 and nearer to 12, and minute hand is at 9. So the time by this clock is 11:45, means 15 minutes to 12. That is, the time by this clock is 11:45. Yes. Now the last clock, sixth clock, is showing the time. The hour hand is at 10 and minute hand is at 3. So the time by this clock is 10:15. That is 10:15. So this is the time 10:15 in the last clock. You have to complete activity 2 in your book as well as in your notebook. Tomorrow we will do activity 3, one day in my life. Thank you, Shem Stars. That's all for today. You can drop your queries on Google Classroom.